Hello everyone, and welcome
to Load the Scit.
Today, we will be covering the top 20 United States Supreme Court decisions for the APUSH exam.
Mind you, this isn't a comprehensive list of all the court cases in U.S. history, nor is it an entire list of the cases you might need to know for your AP exam.
But reviewing these might just score you a few extra points on the test.
So without further ado, let's get started with our review.
Case number 1, Marbury v. Madison, 1803. In this case, judicial review was established, essentially giving purpose to the Supreme Court, allowing them to declare laws unconstitutional.
Number 2, McCulloch v. Maryland, 1819. This case ruled that states cannot tax the federal government, and it also declared the Bank of the United States constitutional.
Number 3, Gibbons v. Ogden, 1824. In this case, Congress was given the right to regulate commerce in between the states.
4, Cherokee Nation v. Georgia, 1831, and Worcester v. Georgia, 1832. These cases upheld Cherokee autonomy and would have declared the Indian Removal Act to be unconstitutional, but because Andrew Jackson doesn't care what Judge Marshall thinks, he went forward with Native American removal.
Number 5, Dred v. Sanford, 1857. This is one of the most well-known Supreme Court cases, as it declared that slaves were property of their owners and had no legal rights whatsoever, and effectively overturned the Missouri Compromise. This was one of the key factors leading to the Civil War.
6, Munn v. Illinois, 1877. This case upheld Grange laws, saying that private industries could be regulated by the federal government in cases of common good. However, this case was overturned by the Wabash, St. Louis, and Pacific Railway Company v. Illinois decision of 1886, which found Grange laws regulating interstate commerce to be unconstitutional.
Number 8, the United States versus the E.C. Knight Sugar Company. How sweet it is to be a monopoly when, due to a loophole in the Sherman Antitrust Act, the Supreme Court declared it unconstitutional for the federal government to regulate monopolies. Number 9, Plessy v. Ferguson, 1896. In this significant Supreme Court ruling, the legality of segregation was upheld on the basis that the two races could be separate but equal. Number 10, Muller v. Oregon, 1908. This Supreme Court decision mandated a 10-hour maximum workday for women, which gave legitimacy to the rising workers' rights movement.
11, Schenck v. United States, 1919. This case upheld the Espionage Act of 1917 and stated that your First Amendment rights can be curtailed in instances of danger or wartime. This is why, strange as it may sound, you cannot shout fire on a crowded airplane.
Number 12, the state of Tennessee versus John Thomas Scopes, 1925, better known as the Scopes Monkey Trial. In this well-known case, the state of Tennessee prosecuted a high school teacher for violating the Butler Act by teaching evolution in a public school. This case was famous for bringing scientific issues to the national debate and for its star-studded lawyer cast of William Jennings Bryan and Clarence Darrow.
13, Schechter Poultry Corporation versus United States, 1935. In the first of several blows to FDR's New Deal, the National Industrial Recovery Act was declared to be unconstitutional on the grounds that only Congress can make laws. This was followed in 1936 by United States v. Butler, in which the Agricultural Adjustment Act was also declared to be unconstitutional. FDR responded with his court packing scheme, in which he tried to stuff the Supreme Court with justices of his own political party. This attempt failed, but was famous politically.
Number 15, Korematsu versus the United States, 1944. In this World War II Supreme Court case over Japanese internment, it was declared legal for detention of civilians during wartime.
16, Brown versus the Board of Education of Topeka, 1954. This case declared the separate but equal clause of Plessy v. Ferguson to still be constitutional. However, it fanned the flames of a growing civil rights movement, which resented the clause and declared that segregation must end.
Number 17, Gideon versus Wainwright, 1963. In this Supreme Court case, under the Sixth Amendment, it was declared that all defendants have right to legal counsel, even if they can't afford it, in all cases.
18. Griswold versus Connecticut, 1965. This case declared that states cannot interfere with a married couple's right to use contraception, which furthered the growing movement towards a private sexual life.
You have the right to remain silent. But you might not know that before Miranda v. Arizona, 1966, in which it was declared that a police officer must tell you that you have the right to an attorney and to stay silent.
And 20. Roe v. Wade, 1973. This case guaranteed the woman's right to an abortion nationwide. However, it has been overturned by several states across the country and has been a controversial decision ever since.
Palpatine versus the Jedi Council, 19, before the Battle of Yavin, declaring,
I am the Senate.
The United States Supreme Court is a pathway to many decisions. Some would consider to be unconstitutional.
In other words, thanks for watching our video. We hope this review helped you for your APUSH exam. We wish you the best of luck and ask you to remember to subscribe.
It is your destiny.
Also, like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. This has been
The Scit.